My big kids will know what that means. Hi, this is Mrs. Winters here, welcoming you to a virtual art class from my very own home art studio. There's a color wheel behind me. That'll be very important for today. So what we're going to do today is just something really, really simple that my preschoolers all the way up through my fourth graders can do. And you can even bring your parents into it too. I think it'll be pretty fun. We are going to create a rainbow. We are going to create a color wheel, and I'm also going to teach you how to make your own sketchbook if you would like to. So stay tuned and we'll figure out how all that's going to work using stuff from your house. All right, sweet friends. First, to get started, I would like to read the story of Noah and the flood with the ark from the Jesus Storybook Bible. So if you have this at home, or if your little brother or sister has this at home and you want to join along, you totally can, or you can just follow along with me. It's on page 38, and it's called A New Beginning. From Genesis chapter 6 through 9. Time passed, and many people filled the earth. Everyone, everywhere, had forgotten about God and were only doing bad things all the time. God's heart was filled with pain when he saw what had happened to the world he loved. Everywhere was disease and death and destruction, all the things God hates most. Now, Noah was God's friend, which was odd in those days because no one else was. Noah listened to God. He talked to God. He just loved being with God, like you do with your best friend. Noah, God said, things have gone wrong. People have filled my world with hate instead of love. They are destroying themselves and each other and my world. I must stop them. First, we will build an ark. Do you know how to build an ark? Neither did Noah. Luckily, God knew, and he would show him. A storm is coming, God told Noah, but I will rescue you, I promise. I'll send the animals to you, ones that creep and crawl and slither and slime and gallop and hop and bound and climb. And don't forget to pack everyone's food. The storm was going to wash away all the hate and sadness and everything that had gone wrong and make the world clean again. God had thought up a way to keep Noah safe, but Noah would have to trust God and do exactly what God told him. Noah built an ark, short for a very large boat. Noah's neighbors came out to watch and point and laugh because they didn't believe Noah about the boat or the storm or needing to be rescued. And Noah must have looked rather silly. His boat was in the desert. The desert was nowhere near the sea, and there wasn't even a cloud in the sky. Why would anyone need an umbrella, let alone a boat? But Noah didn't mind so much what other people thought. He minded what God thought, so he just did what God told him to do. When the ark was ready, God said, "All aboard!" And Noah's family and all the animals climbed inside. Then God shut the door. And it started raining for minutes, that joined up into hours, that joined up into days, that joined up into weeks and weeks. And the rain joined up into puddles, that joined up into rivers, that joined up into lakes, that joined up into a flood that covered the whole world. Their boat, that had once seemed so big, suddenly seemed very small. But in the middle of the huge storm, in the crashing waves, in all the thunder and lightning, through it all, God was with them. And God kept them safe for 40 long days and 40 long nights. Finally, the rain stopped. The sun came out and Noah threw open all the windows. Hooray, everyone shouted. Noah sent his dove out to explore, and it wasn't long before she brought him back a fresh olive leaf. Everyone knew exactly what that meant. She had found a tree and land. The water was going down. Look how beautiful these are. At last, the boat landed quite suddenly on top of a great mountain. As soon as it was safe, God said, "Out you come!" And so they did, everyone skipping and dancing onto dry land. The first thing Noah did was to thank God for rescuing them, just as he had promised. And the first thing God did was make another promise. I won't ever destroy the world again. And like a warrior who puts away his bow and arrow at the end of a great battle, God said, "See, I have hung up my bow in the clouds." And there in the clouds, just where the storm meets the sun, was a beautiful bow made of light. It was a new beginning in God's world. It wasn't long before everything went wrong again, but God wasn't surprised. He knew this would happen. That's why, before the beginning of time, he had another plan. A better plan. A plan not to destroy the world, but to rescue it. A plan to one day send his own son, the rescuer. God's strong anger against hate and sadness and death would come down once more, but not on his people or his world. No, God's war bow was not pointing down at his people. It was pointing up into the heart of heaven. Wasn't that a cool story of Noah, friends? Oh, I'm so excited. I've heard that story so many times, but I really am super excited about the rainbow projects that we're going to do today, involving a color wheel and making an actual rainbow for ourselves that hopefully other people can see too. And I'll tell you about that in a second. So what we're going to do first is we're going to create our very own color wheel. Check out mine. Now, if you need a reminder, let's say the rainbow together. Here's my color wheel from my sketchbook. We start with red at the top of our rainbow. So we go red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. If you don't remember, indigo is blue and violet put together, so it's kind of like a dark blue. Now, we are going to go around your house. You might want to get a basket or a box or something like that to put all of your found objects in. Little things that have lots of color, like here's a chapstick, or here's a thing with crayons inside and it's purple. So grab a bunch of things that you can put together in your found object color wheel. And when you're done, you can snap a photo of it so that I can see all of your really cool color wheels when you're all done. Now we're going to start putting our color wheel objects into color families. The first one is warm colors. Now let's do cool colors. How about primary colors? Do you remember what those three are? And then let's do secondary colors. 3 colors as well. Now here's a fun one, and it doesn't have to do anything with color. I want you to line up your items from the smallest item all the way up to the biggest one. Or you could go from the biggest item all the way down to the small one. And don't worry about putting them in color order, just put them in size order. Now, here comes the fun part.